All right, I know what you're thinking. This is like the third straight video that you have mentioned domain expansion Sukuna, but you know what? It's hyped, it's exciting, but it's not necessarily him that I want to talk about today. The fact that he is coming out on JP, keep in mind, on the 30th of December, begs the question, what's going to happen with Global? So currently right now, this is the supposed up-to-date banner stuff for Global. Keep in mind, Nobara is also live and active, so that is that. Jumping over to JP. Now, I know this is probably going to be a video people don't want to hear or want to acknowledge, right? Because what exactly does New Year's mean and quantify, all of this? Well, New Year's is a time along with an anniversary for a gacha game typically where they want to release a very hyped character or event, one or the other depending on the game, and by doing so you enable for maximum revenue, right? That is the whole premise and goal of a gacha game, because I mean, quite frankly, while yes, they do want to know what their players think and they don't want to make too much turmoil with the player base, the ultimate end all be all is that they need to make revenue, right? They need to keep the servers up, they need to keep people employed to keep the game moving forward. So what exactly could they do for New Year's that can make people hyped and excited? Well, I mean, just saying it right now, I don't think there's really anything that will be released that could hype people up given the current, state of where people are in terms of their opinions with the global game and how it's being ran, right? That's just, it's not going to be fixed at this given point. People are just not going to be happy in regards. However, I do think people want to know, like, all right, is anything coming out for global? Like, is there anything for us to do or to be super excited about, right? And on the flip side of that, for the developer, for the most part, they do listen, not necessarily to every single thing. I mean, right, you got to keep that in mind. A game developer isn't going to be able to implement every single aspect that the players want in the game. It's just not feasible. It's not going to work. They're only going to go to a certain point to maximize revenue, right? And I mean, to be completely frank and honest, they don't really care a whole lot about the free-to-play player base. They care more about players who are going to spend money here and there, or people who are going to spend lots of money. So having said all of that, like what are we looking at that could be coming out? Well, I mean, obviously first anniversary stuff, it ain't happening, right? This is not going to happen, at least for a little bit. We're not going to be getting Zone Yuji, we're not going to be getting Domain Expansion Gojo, and then we're not going to be getting Domain Expansion Sukuna. It's just not happening, so do not worry, that's not happening. However, saying that, I am a little apprehensive in sharing this part, what I honestly think could possibly happen. Well, okay, well, let me go over the least likely, and then let me go over what I think probably will happen but people aren't going to be happy about. So what I think could happen is that they could release a Gojo exclusive banner, right? It would be increased rates for both Gojos currently in the game, that being Hollow Purple, right, right here, and then maybe non-standard increased rate as well, and then the Blue Gojo. That's something they could do, right? I mean, that's just something that I just thought off the top of my head, like that instantly just now. I do think that would actually be pretty cool. It would allow people to pull on that banner, and if they don't want to, that's fine, whatever, no big deal. The other thing that I think could happen that I know people would not be very happy about, by not, I mean extremely not happy about, that would be hidden inventory Gojo. Now, before you go, like, that can't happen, I don't want that to happen, that's gonna ruin my opinion on the game, I'm gonna stop playing, so on and so forth. Keep in mind what I just said, right? They want to release a character that will add a lot of revenue into the game. And, if you listened to me months, or about a month and a half-ish, a while ago, I kept saying, don't pull on these banners coming out because they're standard banner characters, save for the big money ticket items. That being hidden inventory and that being anniversary characters. Saying that though, I do think that while yes, hidden inventory or slash teen gojo, however you want to call them, would bring in a ton of revenue. This would make people who pay on the game here and there, allowed them some time to just save up, skip hit or Hollow Purple Gojo, and now if this guy does come out, then they would probably spend a little bit more money. Also, given the time period, if you celebrate Christmas or whatever, typically people have a little bit more cachet from Christmas bonuses, so on and so forth, so they would spend money on that. So that would be, I mean, honestly, if I was running a game, I know it would not be very widely accepted, but that's how I would do it. To be completely honest, I would release hidden inventory gojo, but hold off with Geto and Toji, because I would want people to, like, all right, save up or whatever and then do all that. I do think though that if this is released, yes, people are not going to be happy, but you know what, the game needs to keep going, right? And I'm well aware that we've had multiple banners, boom, 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 and if you decided to spend money on that, that's on you, man. I'm sorry, that is on you. You cannot be mad at me if that is the case, and this guy comes out and I'm saying, I think he's probably coming out. You can't be mad at me for that. That's strictly on you, and I get it. I play a lot of other gachas, and I have to, money pinch here and there with gachas that I'm playing. Like, all right, do I really want this character? If the answer is no, I'm not spending for a bit on that game. So this is just my honest opinion. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. But I'm trying to think in terms of a developer. If I want to maximize my revenue with both versions of the game, then yes, I would release hidden inventory gojo for New Year's.